Dear students, this is the e-learning platform of Cambridge International School, the SUA. I am Kamaljeet Sharma, PGT Accountancy, teaching accountancy to the students for grade 11th and 12th in Cambridge International School. And this session is for the subject of accountancy for grade 11th commerce.
Dear students, as you know, we have started chapter number 8, that is Journal and Ledger, from your book Double Entry Bookkeeping by T.S. Garewal. In this chapter, you will learn about the formation of journal entries and posting of journal entries into ledger. We have practiced many questions for journal. Today, we will learn about the posting of a journal entry into ledger. I hope this session would help you to understand this chapter. Today, we will continue with this chapter, that is chapter number 8, Journal and Ledger.
Let us revise the traditional approach. The rule for personal account is debit the receiver and credit the giver. The rule for real account is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. And the rule for nominal account is debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. Students, now we will learn the formation of journal entries. There are three simple steps to be followed for recording a journal entry. The step one is simply identify the accounts involved in the transaction. Then the second step is judge the nature of accounts involved, whether it is a personal, a real, or a nominal account. The step 3, that is analyze the effect, then apply the rule and form a journal entry. Let us take an example. For example, cash received from Ram rupees 9,000. In this transaction, there are two accounts involved. One is cash, another is Ram. Cash, being an asset, comes under the category of real account. Ram is a natural person, comes under the category of personal account. Now, in the first step, we have identified the accounts involved. That is, cash and Ram are the two accounts involved in the transaction. After that, in the second step, we judge the nature of these accounts involved. The cash is an asset, so it comes under the category of real account, whereas Ram is a natural person, comes under the category of personal account. Now we'll move to step number 3. In the step number 3, we have to analyze the effect. So it is very much clear from the transaction that cash is coming into the business. So cash comes into the business, whereas Ram is the giver. Means Ram gives the money to the business. So after analyzing the effect, we have to apply the rule. So as per traditional approach, the rule for a real account is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. Here cash comes into the business, so cash must be debited. And as per the personal account rule, it is debit the receiver and credit the giver. So here Ram is giver to the business, so Ram must be credited. So we will check the first step and the last step, that is third step. So here cash is debited, Ram is credited. So follow these simple steps to form a journal entry.
Now, this is the journal entry. For the previous transaction, the entry is cash account debit to Ram's account, being cash received from the Ram. Now we will try to post this journal entry into a ledger. Here the journal entry is cash account debit to Ram account. Now we will try to post this journal entry into two ledgers. One is cash account. This is our cash account. And the second one is our Ram account. This is Ram's account. Now in this journal entry, one account is debited, that is cash, and another account is credited, that is Ram account. Now students, listen carefully. There is a system of recording a journal entry into transaction. A cash account is debited because of Ram, and Ram account is credited because of cash. In the cash account, we will write in the cash account we will write Ram's account as to Ram account. But in the Ram account, we will write cash as by cash account. This is the because cash is debited because of Ram and Ram is credited because of cash. Now, I repeat, cash account is debited because of Ram and Ram account is credited because of cash. Now, uh, now we will balance these ledgers. There is a system of balancing the ledgers. Now, in the cash account, there is a transaction of rupees 9,000 only on the debit side. There is nothing on the credit side. There is no balance on the credit side. We will total this debit side as rupees 9,000. We will total this rupees debit side with rupees 9,000 and write same 9,000 on the credit side. Now the credit side was empty, there was nothing. So we will write here by balance CD, and this is the missing figure 9,000 rupees. And balance CD means CD stands for carried down, and CD balance will be transferred to opposite side as to balance BD. BD means B stands for balance brought down. So balance CD will be transferred to opposite side as balance BD. So in again you can understand from Ram account. In the Ram account only there is a cash balance of 9,000. There is nothing on the debit side. So we find out a balancing figure of 9,000 and this is written as balance CD amount 9,000 and balance CD again transferred to opposite side as balance brought down. So this is the system of recording a journal entry into ledger. Here is a best example. Now you can understand with the help of this example the posting of a journal entry into a ledger. Now let us take an example. On 1st April 2019, Mohit Delhi started business with a capital of rupees 50,000. He made the following transaction during the month of April. On April 3rd, he purchased goods from Rita Delhi on credit for rupees 20,000. He paid cash to Rita rupees 10,000 on April 4. He sold goods to Rohit Chandigarh on April 6 for rupees 25,000. Then received cash from Rohit 20,000 on April 8. Goods again purchased from Rita rupees 12,000 on April 12th and cash paid to Rita rupees 20,000 on April 18. Goods sold to Rohit Chandigarh again 10,000 on 25th of April and received cash from Rohit 6,000 on April 30th. Now you are required to journalize. So first of all, we will journalize these transactions and show the respective ledgers. Then we will prepare the ledger accounts. Now the entry for April 1 when the business is started, then it is cash account debit to capital account rupees 50,000. Then purchases to Rita because it is credit purchase 20,000. Then Rita to cash because cash is paid to Rita 10,000. Then we have sold goods to Rohit on credit. So credit sales to Rohit, Rohit to sales 25,000. Then cash to Rohit 20,000, that is cash received from Rohit. Then again goods purchased from Rita, that is 12,000 rupees purchases to Rita. Then Rita to cash 20,000 rupees again cash paid to Rita. Then again goods sold to Rohit on credit on 25th 10,000. Then on April 30th cash is received from Rohit. So there are many transactions related to cash. In cash account, all these entries, number one, then cash two, then cash three, then here it is cash four, then here it is cash five. These five transactions to be recorded in cash account. This one in capital account. This one, just hold on. This single entry is to be recorded in capital account. Then in Rita's account, we will write these four entries. That is Rita, then again two, then Rita and Rita. These are the transactions to be recorded in Rita's ledger. Then after that, we will be recording in purchases account this entry, this, this, this purchases to be recorded in purchases ledger. Then after that, we'll be recording uh, sales. Here it is sales. Then again, this one sales. And then the last one is Rohit. Where is Rohit? We have on April 6th Rohit, April 8th Rohit, then Rohit, and then Rohit. These are the entries to be recorded in different ledgers. Now we will move to the ledger accounts. First of all is cash account. In the cash account, all the cash received entries to be recorded on the debit side because debit what comes in. We'll apply the rule here, or we can simply post the journal entry as per the method which I have taught you in the previous slide. So this is the cash comes into the business, and these are the transactions where the cash goes out of the business. So here is a capital of 50,000 comes into the business, Rohit 20,000, then again Rohit 6,000, and these are the payments 10,000 to Rita on April 4 and 20,000 to Rita on April 18. And the total of the debit side is 76,000. We will write this 76,000 here and find out the missing figure as 46,000. This is our balance CD, and balance CD, as I told you, to be transferred on the opposite side, that is balance BD. Again, capital account, there is only one transaction, that is cash 50,000, that is started business with cash. This is the balance, a total of debit and credit. This is balancing figure is balance CD, and balance CD will be transferred to opposite side, balance BD. In the next ledger, that is purchases account, in the purchases account we will record all the transactions related to purchases. So when goods were purchased, here we will record purchases. Then on April 3rd, we purchased goods on credit from Rita on April 12, 20 and 12 comes to 32. We will write this 32 here, and there is a missing figure of rupees 32,000. This is your balance CD, and balance CD will be transferred to the opposite side, that is balance brought down. Then next comes Rita's account. These are the goods purchased from Rita, and these are the payments made. We have purchased goods worth rupees 32,000 and payment 30,000. Now there is a balance of rupees 2,000, and balance CD will be transferred to opposite side. Next comes the Rohit's account. These are the sales. We have made sales to Rohit on two different dates, 25,000 and 10,000, and cash received is 20,000 and 6,000. So total of debit side is 35,000, which is more than credit side. So missing figure we have calculated 9,000, and this 9,000 will be transferred to the opposite side as balance brought down. Now comes the sales account. In the sales account, we made sales to Rohit on April 6th and 25th. That is 25 and 10,000. Total comes to 35,000. There is nothing in the debit side, though the whole amount 35,000 is a missing figure as balance CD, and balance CD will be transferred to the opposite side as by balance BD 35,000 rupees.
In this session, we have learned about few more journal entries using the traditional approach to rules of debit and credit. I hope this will help you to understand the concept of the topic more easily. Now, students, try to understand the basic concepts of this chapter once again and try to solve some illustrations as well as unsolved questions from your book Double Entry Bookkeeping by T.S. Grewal. You can also try to solve some questions from NCRT, but all the questions to be done in your homework notebook. In the next session, we will continue our next topic. Till then, dear students, to stop the COVID 19, stay home. If you don't think about yourself, think about your loved ones. So stay home, please, but study regularly.